Okay, so what we have here are a pair of windshield frame mounts, dualies from Rigid Industries that we're going to use to mount lights up to the windshield frame on the RockTrooper. So in order to get these prepped, we're actually going to paint these white. First test I'm going to do, I'm just going to use the white Plastidip here just to see how they come out. If I don't like it for whatever reason, I can peel it off real quick. Won't that be that much of a pain in the butt? Before I really get to either have these powder coated white or have them spray painted white to match the Jeep. So first I'm going to go ahead and Plastidip these white. We'll see how they turn out. So spraying the mounting brackets with the white Plastidip turned out pretty well. Overall, I'm pleased with the outcome. It's not an exact match for the bright white of the Jeep Wrangler, but it's close enough to give me a little bit of an idea of what it's going to look like. And again, when I make the final call, I'll probably just peel off the Plastidip and then just get them painted white. So I'm going to show you the lights. So we're actually going to install two sets. These are the sPOD, and these are the flood. So these are the Marine D2 rigid dualies. So we're going to mount the sPOD are going to be on the bottom bracket, and then the floods are going to be on the top one. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Jeep frame area where we're going to mount it. So this is the area on both the driver and the passenger side, right at the cowl at the beginning of the base of the windshield frame on the exterior. We're going to remove these two bolts, and we're also going to remove these two bolts. This is going to allow us to kind of pop this up, and then if you can see here, we're going to run the wires for the lights right through there and into the engine compartment. So let's go ahead and get these bolts off. So for these, this is going to be a T40 Torx bit. So we're just going to remove these. Okay, so I'm doing some testing. The instructions actually say to mount the brackets onto the Jeep first. However, I tried that. It wasn't really easy getting the lights on, so I pulled them off. And what we're going to do is install the lights now, and then take the fully assembled light bracket and then mount it to the Jeep. So you'll see with the lights, there's basically the fins that are open here, and these mounting brackets go into these fins, like so. And I'm not sure if you can see that, but you'll see here is the mounting bracket inside that first set of fins. Now for the bolts, basically the nuts that they give you will sit inside, and then allow you to take the bolt and then run it through, and that'll make it easy so you can actually connect it to the bracket. So you'll see that I have it upside down, and allows me to use gravity to keep the nut in place. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And then just run this one through. And we're just going to use a hex key just to loosely, or I should say not loosely tighten, but just tighten up a little bit so at least it's held firmly into the bracket. And then once we get it onto the Jeep, we'll tighten it up once we get a good position for everything. So that's the first one. You see, these are going to be the spots. We're going to put the spots on the bottom, and then we're going to put the floods up top. We're probably going to install the top one first. Might make it a little bit easier. But in any case, we're able to just move the light up to position it. So we can get the nuts and the bolts through. So here's the setup for the one mount. This is the driver's side. We just need to tighten down the lights once we get it the bracket fixed, then we'll set everything up. So in order to keep the white theme going with the Jeep, I went out and got some white adhesive shrink wrap, and then we're just going to basically cover up the black wires with this. So it gives it, a continuous solid white look across the board, and then it'll hide the wires. So here we go. We're able to get the white shrink wrap on. Note to self: do this before you mount the lights. I actually took apart the lights and then ran the shrink wrap up, and then shrink wrapped it, and then reinstalled the light. So for the passenger side, when we go to do that one, we're going to do the shrink wrapping first before we mount them up. So let's get it over to the Jeep. We'll put it in place and see how it looks. All right, so we're going to mount the lighting bracket up to the holes. We're going to use the rubber spacer provided. I'm just going to put it behind here, and we're just going to feed the one bottom bolt in for now, so I can just get it in place. Just kind of hand tighten it for now. There we go. Now I'll get the top bolt in. Now we're going to set up the passenger side lights and bracket. So you see we already did the shrink wrapping to the lights, and we're going to install the floodlight on the top of the mount. So let's, we're going to put the nuts in now. There we go. Now we got a loosely fit, already ready to go passenger side bracket. So let's get that fitted on now. Okay, so we have the mounting brackets on. The lights are attached. I did want to show you what it looked like with the plastic dip. You'll see that it started peeling up right around the area where the bolts are, right? So once the bolts got tightened down to the frame, it started twisting it up. So, I mean, it kind of set my expectations. I really wanted to get an idea of what the color would look like up against the Jeep, and now I know. So next time I'll just take them off, most likely get them painted, and then we should be set. So let's move on to the next part here. So now what we're going to do is run the wires underneath the center section here. So we're going to use a T30 Torx bit to loosen these up, or to remove this, so we can feed the wires underneath it. So let's get to it. Now that we have the bolts off, what we're going to do is just pop this up a little bit here. You see it becomes a little flexible. It gets in the way with the windshield wiper here, but it gives you enough room to get the cables underneath. Okay, wires are run. We were able to get them cleanly behind the center section of the cowl. It's probably going to be the best run I'm going to get right there. Looks like a clean set. See anything right there. Now next is going to be to pop the hood. Alright, now we're going to run the cables. You can see the cables right there. That's for the passenger light, and back there for the driver's light. So now we're going to prep the engine compartment and run the power leads up to our spot. So I'm going to start off on the passenger side first. You see here, these are going to be our two leads for each of the lights. I'm going to run them around the outside part of the rubber strip here for the hood, and then we're going to kind of line them up with the existing wire loom and things like this that are going to get us over to the sPOD over there. So we're going to start wiring up on the passenger side first. Alright, before I started cutting down some cables, I wanted to show you exactly where I ran all the leads for the lights. So on the passenger side, you'll see it's coming out here. Just wrapped it around here, and then just put the wire loom and wrap across the back of the engine compartment there. And as you see, it comes down here. This is going to be the driver's side. I'm going to use this existing wire and loom just to basically run the same thing. And then down here, I followed the same lines that I hooked up for the rock lights, put them here, took out this cover, ran the cables behind it, and you'll see here we have all the cables that we're going to use to cut and connect to the sPOD. Alright, we're all set. So I just want to give you guys a quick walkthrough, show you everything you set up. So here's the sPOD. See if I can open this up. So those are the connections. I connected the spots up to 4 and the floods up to 5. The 6 is rock lights, which we did earlier. So cable management basically goes to the same location we showed you earlier. There's the wires that are coming from the driver's side, and if we follow the back across, we'll see it all connected up to the passenger side. So a little bit later tonight, we are going to test them out, make sure everything's lined up, and then we'll get some more video and pictures of it then. All right, finally, a few hours later, it's finally dark out. I've been waiting to test out these new lights. So out front, we're going to see these are the stock headlights that Jeep gives us. Poor excuse for lighting. Can't really see too much. Throws out a little bit of light, enough to, I guess, drive down the road. I want to put on the fog lights next. So you'll see there it throws out a decent amount of light right in front of the Jeep, pointing down, which is lights up that area pretty well. I'm going to turn the spotlights on next. Wow, huge difference. Huge difference. I got a little focusing and a little adjustments to do, but major upgrade for the lighting. And now I'm going to try the spotlights. There we go. That's a significant amount of light now. Camera really doesn't do it justice. Out in front of me now, I'm looking at both sides and it's significantly lit up. Wow, huge upgrade. So those are the LED lights. Can't get too close, so it really flares out the camera there. But I also got the rock lights that I installed in the front lit up as well. See if we can walk around. A huge upgrade in the lighting. See if I can get a picture how much light it throws out. So you can see there, significant upgrade. Awesome lighting. There you go.